And we welcome you into Upper St. Clair High School, continuing an exclusive coverage of the WPIL Swimming Championships 2A Boys.
I got from the coaches area, Coach Dave from Butler. We're talking a little bit of Butler swimming here because the record for that last event we just saw, 200 IM, was held by a Butler swimmer.
Yeah, Laura Gettler.
And it stays intact for another year.
Yep.
And tell us a little about Laura, where she is now, and then we'll talk about your team in this weekend.
Okay. Well, Laura is a freshman at Duquesne University, coached by Dave Sheets. And she is, in a year where they had some issues with COVID, and so they had tough training in the fall. She did very well, though. She handled it, from what I understand. And so their Atlantic 10 championship meet will be in April, so we'll see how she does. And the nice thing about Laura is her best event's 200 breaststroke, actually. And so she'll get to compete in that in her conference meet, because they do 200s is where we do the sprint events here in breaststroke. As far as IM, she'll probably, that'll be her third event. IM, 100 breast, 200 breast.
Well, we're cheering for the college kids.
Yep.
The Whitfield doing well.
Yep, right.
That's awesome. And what about Butler? What do you bring into the meet this year?
Well, this morning we have Abby Griffiths. She's a senior. She's a two-time state qualifier in the 100 back. 100 back, 100 fly. She'll do those two events. And so we're excited to see how she does. And then later on this evening, we'll have the guys come, and we're pretty solid in those in that afternoon session.
Right. So, the female swimmer, she's a senior.
Yeah,
what does she have plans for?
She's narrowing down colleges right now. We talked a little bit. She's a very strong academic student. So I think she's narrowing down her choices right now, and we'll see where it goes. Okay, then set us up for the guys tonight. We have we're seated in the top four in all three relays. 200, 400 free relay we'll be going for. We're seated first in the 50 free. That's Ben Borvende. My son and Dave Bocci will be in the 100 fly seated first, and seated first in the 500. Sammy Deemer third in the 200 free.
Coach, I wanted to talk to you about that because we had a chance to talk earlier. What's it like to coach your son? First of all, size him up as a coach, and then talk about him following your footsteps and being a good swimmer as well.
Well, we get along very well, which is unusual. We've had a few spats, but he's a very hard worker. And usually when your own child works hard, everything else comes easy. He loves the sport. He's passionate about it. He loves to compete. So when you have that, formula as far as his heart's into it. I don't have to live vicariously through my son. I mean, he's driving the train, and I'm just along for the ride.
That's a great quote. And I noticed Gideon Gettler coming up later on. Is that Laura's brother?
That's Laura's brother.
Okay.
And, he had a quarantine situation in January, and he bounced back really quick to come and qualify in this meet. He's going to do the 100 breaststroke and kind of follow in his sister's footsteps. So we have a talented group of guys, no doubt. I mean, we're going to be in every race. We're going to compete for a win in probably 6 events. And so that's exciting for our program.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you now during the girls' side. The record stays, but you're going to be a little bit busier later today.
Right.
And, trying to navigate and
sitting
on pins and needles.
It'll be an interesting evening for sure. And my guys are very comfortable right now. They're confident. This week was not a lot of I hope I can do this or I hope I can do that. We're pretty confident we know what we can do.
Well, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Hopefully things turn out well for everybody.
All right, thank you very much.
Sure.
Thanks, Coach. Dave Bocci, the head coach of Butler. Being brought to you today by our friends from the ISCA, which Mark is a part of, and they have a great offer on the table for any coaches or any programs that are interested.
Yeah, so the International Swim Coaches Association is a membership organization. It's been around for more than 10 years, and in the earliest years, it has always hosted great swimming meets. The Upper St. Clair team has been there. They are championship meets generally in Florida, There's open water swims in Virginia, and so the swimming meets have been its main calling card. However, there's an association library. So if you're a member of the International Swim Coaches Association, you get access to this wonderful, rich, growing, expanding enrichment library. And that's the thing that we're here to promote and reveal and try to entice the other programs from around the Western Pennsylvania and even the state to take advantage of this offer. So this is a broadcast special. The International Swim Coaches, instead of paying $75 for an individual to join the association, and have your entire coaching staff become members of ISCA. And they'll all have individual annual membership with full rights and privileges, and being able to explore and consume the wonderful content and knowledge base with the Global Library for ISCA members. Get your assistant coach, your head coach, your water polo coach, your volunteer coaches, your diving coach, anybody that you're going to be hiring. Let's get everybody the professional development out of the library. Athletic department gift to the coaches. So, here's an investment that I think is going to yield great dividends with knowledge and inspiration, so that we can build upon our swimming base here in Western Pennsylvania and have more and more coaches, integrating the science and the best practices in their training for swimming. Of course, the top coaches know what they're doing, but we're talking about trying to seed some great content for the younger people.
Stress that membership, and that's just the way to give some edge to your programs and to these young student athletes as well.
When you join ISCA, you get access to the Global Library for ISCA members. It's a learning management system that is packed full of wonderful educational enrichment, professional development, all the articles and webinars. And
tuning in, and appreciate our sponsors. Our sponsor today, the International Swim Coaches Association, to help bring this to you, the best seat in the house. You had it right here, coverage of the WPL